Welcome to Mind Body Hacks, navigating your inner landscape with the chakras and traditional Chinese medicine's spring element. I'm your host, Lizz Naughton. In this podcast, we'll explore the connection between the mind and body and how it relates to the fifth chakra and traditional Chinese medicine's spring element. By understanding the chakras and TMC's 5 elements, we can navigate our inner landscape and promote balance and healing. Join us as we delve into the practices that supports this mind-body connection. Our goal today is to discover how this ancient wisdom can guide us in creating a harmonious and healthy lifestyle. For those of you who don't know me, I am an energy medicine practitioner. It's also known as an energy healer. I am trained in Eden energy medicine, Be Set Free Fast for the mind, as well as heart math for the heart. So I actually have something for the mind, for the body, and the spirit. As a practitioner, I move in and out of different energy systems all the time to facilitate a better flow of energy within my clients' bodies. In my research for today's podcast, I wanted to talk about the chakras, which is another energy system that I use in my practice. And I also wanted to see how to combine it with the element of spring, which is wood. Now, I knew that the third chakra would be featured when combining it with TMC. But what surprised me in my research is that it led me to the fifth or throat chakra, and I wasn't really sure why. This was a perfect opportunity to dive deeper into the basics of the fifth chakra, which is located in the center of the throat. And then I will dive into and discuss some of the aspects found in the spring element of wood. And then I'll give us some hacks as to how to balance both. The first place to start is just a basic overview of the chakras. In my training in Eden Energy Medicine, it may be different than what you're used to. I really have the philosophy that all trainings and all understandings of the chakras are correct. What I'll be talking about is just simply my orientation and training in the 7 chakras. So I certainly hope that you'll keep an open mind and that you pick and choose some really cool little nuggets that you can use for yourself and incorporate into your own practice. Having said that, in Eden Energy Medicine, there are 7 chakras, and each chakra has 7 layers. These are spinning, whirling discs of data. They contain information about who you are, how you navigate the world, what your orientation to your environment is, and you actually come into the world with that information. Each chakra has a theme and organs that it governs. So it's not that uncommon to have physical complaints in an area where your chakra needs to be cleared. So often, for example, if we are working with the third chakra, you may have digestive issues or you may have some kind of imbalances in your metabolism. All of that resides within the third chakra, the spleen, the pancreas, you have the stomach itself, and also the liver, the gallbladder, all of those things. And then, of course, in the back, you've got the kidneys. The fifth chakra is responsible for communication, creativity, and self-expression. Looking for similarities, when the throat chakra is balanced, we're able to communicate and express our thoughts and our feelings clearly and effectively. So basically, what the themes, if you will, of the throat chakra will be inspiration and communication. When it's not imbalanced, you'll notice that sometimes you have something you really want to say, but you just can't seem to find the words. Or maybe it feels like there's a lump in your throat that's preventing you from speaking up. Or you're just terrified to say something. Those would all be imbalances in the throat chakra. This can lead to fear of speaking in public or even talking openly with people you know. You may speak in a voice that's so low that it's hard for others to hear you, or you might avoid speaking up to defend yourself or express your opinion. On the flip side, if your throat chakra is overactive, you may find yourself talking too much or without a clear point. You might interrupt others or dominate the conversation or feel the need to have the last word. All of those things can just be a sign that there's nothing wrong with you. It's just that your throat chakra is out of balance. Some of the physical aspects, the organs represent that area are the thyroid. And of course, most of us will know that the thyroid governs our endocrine systems, all of our hormones and all of those type of things. It also governs how quickly the body burns energy, and it makes proteins and regulates our metabolism. The parathyroid gland sits in the back of the thyroid, and it kind of maintains our calcium levels and that type of thing. We also have the tonsils. Everybody knows what the tonsils are. They're designed to protect bacteria from moving into the body. The tonsils are supposed to catch it before it goes down the throat. The actual throat itself is governed by the throat chakra, along with vocal cords, your tongue, your mouth, the cervical vertebrae, which protects essentially your nerves and blood vessels, the occipital bone, which is the bone that protects the base of the skull. When you bend your head back, there's a little like hollow back there. That's a power point, just to kind of give you an idea of where that's located. You have the brainstem, and oddly enough, the fifth chakra also governs the ears, but it doesn't govern hearing. What it governs is the actual outer part of your ears. Anytime you need to learn something, it would be beneficial if you're starting to feel overloaded. It's just to grab the very top parts of your ears and start tugging on them to give them a good stretch. Move it all the way from the top of your ears down to your earlobes. It just kind of opens up all of the different acupressure points that are found in the ear. Plus, it feels really good. Donna Eden, who created this healing modality, so she actually saw the throat chakra as a chamber of all seven chakras moving in and up and down through the throat. These chambers would transport not only energy to feed different parts of the body, but it also would feed and communicate different information throughout all the different chakras. For example, the seventh and sixth chakra moves downward through the throat, and it starts to send out information and energy to all the lower chakra. That would be really 4 through 1. On the other side, the same thing. It's like the first chakra would move up the body through the throat up and send information into the sixth and seventh chakra. The other thing that about these chambers, like these lanes and byways of busy information, on the left side of the body is the beautiful yin energy. So these chambers in the chakra on the left side will be the even numbers of chakras, and on the right side of the body, which is our yang energy, will be the odd number. Anytime you can actually start working with the different chakras just simply by working with the throat. One of the ways that you can do, which is also really good for the thyroid if you're having any challenges there, is just to start at the very center, gently, where your throat chakra is, and just pull up. One hand, pull downward towards the heart chakra, and the other hand, pull up towards the chin, and just give your throat this beautiful stretch on both sides. When you stretch, it just provides more space for the energy to flow, especially if you're feeling blocked in that area. Another way to balance the throat chakra, because of these chambers, that is to move back and forth in a figure eight motion. You can literally start on the left side or the inside of the throat and move it over to the other side, the yang area, and just form a beautiful large figure eight. You can do this physically on your throat, or you can also do it in the field. The other thing that you can do is you can start on the inside, which is the left side of the throat, and just gently strum it, pushing and pulling the energies from one side to the other. It feels outstanding when you do that. That also helps create balance. And of course, I would also recommend that you make an appointment with an Eden energy medicine practitioner who has the knowledge and the expertise to work on your throat chakra. So, having said that, let's move on into the traditional Chinese medicine portion of this talk. It is about the wood element. The wood element is kind of cool. It is associated with growth, expansion, and change. It's the energy of new beginnings. So you see that in the spring as all the dormant trees begin to come back alive and they very slowly begin to produce those buds that begin to open up. It's a very exciting time of year because everything that's been asleep now begins to waken. It can help balance the fifth chakra by promoting growth, expansion, and change. When we're in touch with these qualities, we feel inspired to create new things, express ourselves in new ways. We're also more open to change and new experiences. Some of the basics about the spring element of wood are the archetype, which is the commander or the warrior. The positive qualities of the wood element are kindness towards self and others, and being assertive, strong, honest, truthful, and like I already mentioned, they can lead to inspire beautiful qualities. When this particular element, the spring element, is out of balance, the energies have a tendency to be insensitive to the needs of others. You may experience having a myopic view of the world or a project that you're working on. It could be like my way or the highway. This is the vision. This is where we have to go. We can't do anything else. Those are kind of telltale signs that you may not be in alignment if you don't have enough wood energy within the body. It may manifest as having difficulty starting new projects. You procrastinate. You can't move through that first initial hurdle, and that can lead to anger and frustration at yourself. Physically, you might have allergies, chronic neck pain, PMS depression, digestive and sleep issues. Those are all indications that you're out of balance. If you have too much wood energy, you may find you're feeling frustrated and angry because you had this perfect vision of how something was going to go, and that is not your experience. It's like going south on you in a hurry. Physically, you might be prone to headaches, migraines, twitchy eyes and muscles. Here are some important mind body hacks to get yourself into balance by using the fifth chakra and wood element protocols. It's important to fuel your body with food that will help you stay healthy and thrive. And here are some suggestions for the spring season. Eat plenty of vegetables. Vegetables are packed with nutrients that are essential for good health. Spring is a great time to enjoy fresh, seasonal vegetables like artichokes, eggplants, and dark leafy greens. Be sure to include fruits throughout the day. Fruits are another great source of nutrients and are a delicious way to get your daily dose of fiber. Spring fruits like tangerines, grapefruits, and lemons are not only refreshing, but they're a healthy way to start the day. I highly recommend, if you can, to start every morning with at least 8 ounces of water, but add lemon juice to it. It does two amazing things. The first thing is not only does it clear the palate in your mouth, but it also helps bring the bacteria in your mouth to a neutral level. The next thing that it does, once you swallow it, it's not acid, it's alkaline. So it's really good for your stomach. First thing in the morning, drink lemon water. Eat whole grains. Whole grains are a good source of fiber and nutrients, and they can also help you feel energized and satisfied. Spring whole grains include wheat bran, rye, brown rice, and of course oatmeal. Oatmeal is my most favorite grain in the universe. I also make oatmeal muffins that are to die for. In them, I've got bananas, cinnamon, blueberries. I make my own applesauce so that I can make sure that there's nothing in it other than just apples. And it's just a really cool, healthy way to snack, and it replaces my pangs for sugary sweet treats. And of course, drink plenty of water. Water is essential for good health, and it's especially important to stay hydrated during the spring months when the weather is starting to get warmer. So that's kind of like something that everybody knows. Essential oils are another thing that I would like to bring into the mix. So often we don't get the information about essential oils, and I like them, and I have been using them since 2015. I use doTERRA. I like the idea that there's nothing in those oils other than what they say. And I also like the idea that there's a third party lab that goes in and tests to make sure that they're therapeutic certified essential oils. Some of the essential oils that are associated with the wood element include rosemary, and rosemary helps to flush the toxins from the liver as well as your body. Chamomile is an excellent way to help with your digestive system. Peppermint is good for absolutely everything under the sun. It's an anti inflammatory. I also like peppermint just as a chaser. I may put an essential oil, for the example, on the bottom of my foot, and then I'll chase it with peppermint. Peppermint will help drive the first oil into the body deeper, and it goes systemic faster. The other cool thing about essential oils is it just simply raises the vibration energetically. If I use essential oils on my clients, there is a protocol that I use. Take the essential oil that I think may be beneficial. I put it on their solar plexus because the spleen governs how we metabolize things, and then I energy test. If the energy test is strong, I'll go ahead and use the oil. If it's not strong, then I either omit oils altogether because their body is not strong enough to incorporate anything other than just the organic energy that I'm giving them, or it's just not the right time. So that's just kind of a side note. When you use essential oils, if you can, energy test to see if it's good. Fennel helps with digestion, and it also has an antiseptic effect on the liver. For your throat chakra, frankincense, of course, is the first go to. It strengthens our intuition and spiritual connection to our higher self. Blue tansy also helps to speak up and be heard. Eucalyptus opens up the throat and allows for communication more freely, and it also reduces inflammation around the vocal cords. Cypress helps remove limiting beliefs that prevents you from clear communication, and that's so often the block with everything. It's how I perceive something. And oils that support both the throat chakra and the wood element are the Roman chamomile, peppermint, and lavender. I didn't really talk about lavender, but that's just the beginning of the list. You can add your own favorites. You may have meditation oils that you like. Put it on your heart chakra. If I can throw in just one more thing about working with the throat chakra and essential oils, I would recommend not to put it directly on the thyroid. I had talked about the thyroid being the endocrine system. We don't really want to do anything that's going to interfere with that balance. Instead, try working on the chambers on the side. For example, if you do want to incorporate the fifth chakra, we know that it's on the right side of the body because it is a yang, or it's an odd number chakra. So just go ahead and put it on the side of the throat. You can also put it on the bottom of your feet, and that'll rise up to wherever your oil is going to be needed. Another hack is to be kind, positive to yourself. Your self talk is really important, especially when you miss the mark. Don't beat yourself up because you've made a mistake. The coolest thing about mistakes is you've had the courage to try something different. None of us make mistakes with something that we do over and over and over again unless we're just simply not paying attention. So when you miss a mark, and give yourself that energetic high five that you tried something different. You can also meditate using deep breaths. Again, focus on the throat chakra, which will begin to activate it. You can rest up against a tree or sit in grass. That will really help you ground. And by doing all of these things, you're actually tapping into the grounding energy of wood. It's like the roots of a tree, as well as the fifth chakra. Activities that you can do to combine the fifth chakra with the wood element. Of course, get moving, go for a walk, or any other kind of setting in nature, especially if you're feeling frustrated. It's like if you're out in the woods alone, yell, get all that frustrating and pent up energy out of your body. Spend time gardening and planting. That's very grounding. It's really, really, really good for the wood element. Write in your journal or create art. You can sing or dance. Any of those movements will start to bring out any stuck energy that you may have, especially if you've been feeling frustrated. And of course, affirm positive statements about yourself and your abilities. It's like, hey, I'm really pretty good at that. Maybe I should be doing more. Those types of things really help cement and raise your vibration and bring yourself back into balance. I think that will give you an idea as to how to bring your throat chakra and the spring element together as you move forward. The next shift in energy will be the summer solstice, which is earth energy. And the coolest thing about the earth energy is that we get to visit that 4 times a year. But for right now, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you got a lot out of this episode. We've explored the connection between the wood element and how it relates to the chakras. And by understanding just a little bit about the fifth chakra, we can navigate our inner landscape and promote balance and healing. We discussed techniques and practices that support this mind-body connection, including what to eat and some of the essential oils that can support us. If you would like to read my blog about this podcast, or if you just simply want to know more about me or experience a private session with me, you can visit my website, whitesandsenergymedicine.com. Until we meet again, please know that you are loved. Namaste.